Grana Weep Minimum! Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're going to take a look at something that I've been wanting to put in my collection for a while. So when I saw this was getting a metallic re-release, I had to absolutely go and pick this dude up. Today we're going to be taking a look at the KFC Transistor, or to you and me, a bit of a masterpiece, Blaster. As always on this channel, let's take a quick look at the packaging. And the packaging, the box art on this is beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Awesome artwork here, hand-drawn artwork of Transistor, aka Blaster. Lovely cell shaded, pretty damn cool. Really nice gold Transistor written down here in very nice gold shiny writing. At the top we have P for A++ metallic transistor, and then some writing underneath there. At the top we have heavy metal, so it's expendable, autonomous, virulent infantry. Okay, so there is a reason for why it has that. And then at the back we get a nice little story here, nice little bio of how he was framed for a crime he didn't commit, so he's essentially a part of the A-Team basically. This is really cool little CAD drawing here. All the accessories, he actually comes with more accessories than this as well. At the bottom we are told don't eat your children because they have small parts, and then at the side we get, I guess, what was the reveal, or was the hint when he first came out. I'm not sure what the point of that is, but we get heavy metal, very gold, and then P for B, and then on the other side this beautiful looking cell shaded. I wonder if there is a cell shaded version of this that you can get. This is something I've wanted for my collection for a while, but I don't think I've ever seen a cell shaded version of this. That would be pretty damn cool. So that's the box. Also comes with a card for Blaster that just goes the same as the artwork that's there. Transistor phase 4A, and then on the back we get all the stats and the awesome KFC logo with, I think that's a Gundam, right? I think it's a Gundam that's on the KFC logo, which is a bit weird. So I don't know if they do Gundams as well, but I'm only in this for the Transformers. And then we also, because this is Blaster, he comes with one of his tapes, and this is Hi-Fi, and we can see that he also gets his own little card, and we can swizzle it around. He gets a slightly larger KFC logo on his back, and a CAD drawing here of the tape as well, and all of the stats: strength, intelligence, speed, endurance, rank, courage, fire blast, and skill. So really cool little cards that they come with as well. And then of course we get the destructions. So the destructions come for Hi-Fi, and the instructions here pretty nice for Hi-Fi. Really nice. Keith's Fantasy Club, so that's what KFC stands for. It's not Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's Keith's Fantasy Club. Warning, don't eat your children. Really nice worksheet format there for the destructions. And then for Transistor, aka Blaster himself, we get these awesome looking destructions as well. But these destructions, similar to the TFC? Similar to TFC? Yeah, similar to TFC. We get a little comic book on the inside of the story of this, but nice little drawings as well, I have to say. Certainly for the Blaster, I like the Blaster. I'm not too enamored with their take on Cyclonus here, but it is pretty good. And then the transformation on this dude is pretty easy, actually. It's not a bad transformation. I think there is a step though that they aren't very clear on, and there's this like one of the final steps where you have to separate the legs, and they don't really make that too clear. I'll show you on the transformation, but yeah, they're okay. But I had to watch a little video just to make sure I was doing something right, even though the transformation is quite simple on it. And that cool little KFC logo there, and that is definitely a Gundam. So now it's time for the main event himself. Check out, shout, ow! Oh, it's Blaster. Oh my god. I have wanted this in my collection for a long time. When I was doing a bit of research on which version of Blaster I wanted to pick up for my collection, I saw a couple, but I have to say, like I said at the beginning, this is 100% the best one that I could find, and I'm not disappointed, certainly in this mode at all. This is a fantastic, shiny, shimmering Ghetto Blaster. It's not the easiest thing to get it to look this flush everywhere, but it is really great once you get there. Loving the shiny reds, the shiny silvers, lots of molded detail on this bad boy as well. So we get the molded detail in here of the speakers at the front, the tweeters at the bottom, and then at the bottom we get the little power symbols, the power knobs, and then we get the power little switch there as well. On the back, it's nice. It reminds me very much of Soundwave, actually, on the back, with the way that it comes down. So I don't know if they've also done a take on Soundwave as well, and they based it pretty much off that, but it does look a lot like that. And then at the side here we get all of the knobs and dials and switches and headphone jacks as well. Really cool. And of course, Blaster would just not be Blaster if he didn't have his tape deck, which does kind of work, but I have to say it's not as pop out as I'd like, but it does work sometimes. There we go. So this tape deck bit here inside, if you've got any of the versions of Soundwave, you'll know that you can put a tape in, and I can do that right now because he comes with the tapes. So we can open up his tape, and they call this dude Hi-Fi in this, and you just stick him in as you would your normal tape if you were born in the 80s. You can stick it all the way to the back, and then you can go push this lever here at the back, and that will rocket it forward to the top, and then you can pop it open and out comes the tape. So he does fit in with the tapes. They fit in the tape deck, and you can actually get more than one tape in here. He does only come with one tape, but I do believe that if you get any of the other tapes that you can get, so this is from one of my Soundwaves, from the Masterpiece Soundwave, you can also fit them in. So they are completely compatible, and it looks like you can actually take about 3 tapes. So I can push this lever at the back, ding, push everything forwards, and come on, you can do it. Opens up this one, and then we can go ding, and open up that one. So there we go. So that's eject. That's Soundwave, isn't it? While we're on the subject of tapes, let's take a look at the tapes themselves. So this is how they compare. So this is one of Soundwave's tapes, and this is one of the tapes that come with this one. And I have to say they've gone really all out on the detail here. I like the way that it has the metal position here. So this is a tape of metal. The other side is a little bit blonder because obviously when it's in bot mode, this is where all of the robot detail is, and on the back this is where all the tape detail is. So that's really cool, really nice. I really like the way that this looks. This reminds me very much of my classic tapes from the 80s. So now let's transform this dude and see what he looks like in his robot mode. So first thing, we can just pull the head up here and obviously switch it round because that's where this needs to be, and then you can see the way everything just kind of unplugs and unfurls here. Just bring everything up, foot down, and then spread his legs out and turn his little toe around there. Same with this section here, turn it around, bring the foot down and around, separate it out a little bit, and then you can give him those nice little 80s shoulder pads there out from the side, and twist the hand around. So there he is. There's his little buddy Hi-Fi, looking pretty damn good, I think. Legs are a little spindly, but he's a solid little tape. Very cool looking. Like the 80s shoulder pads on him as well. Very nice. The back obviously is where the rest of the tape was, so we'll let them get away with that one. The head itself is pretty cool because if I just stand him down, so he stands up fairly easily, which is always a good thing to have with the tape ones. He also comes with, not just one, but two heads, so you can just unpop his head, stick it down there, and then he has this head, and the difference here is that he has that little side piece on his head, and he has not got the red eyes and the blue bits in the middle, but he does have a red face sculpt, so that's pretty cool. And then also we have this other one which doesn't have the kind of eye laser targeting system there on the side, which is just more of the classic head sculpt. The problem with these ones is they don't have the detailing on the back, so for the transformation the only one you can really have is this one, which is a bit sad really, because it means whenever you want to put them into tape mode to get it to look good, you have to actually always have the same head on. But in this one, when it's in bot mode, you can change it to whatever you want. So yeah, good idea, but shame just a little bit about the execution. The other thing that he comes with are the two golden lasers that he has that are fairly nice, nicely detailed, just fully shiny gold. But yeah, very nice guns, and they fit in his hands very well. And then he can, ooh, I said they fit in very well. They're a little stiff. Oh, they are very tight to actually go in there. I hope I can get them back out again. Oh, they do go in, but they are extremely tight. And then he can have his war with Ravage, like he did. His articulation on this figure, obviously you're going to get a full 360 on his head, full 360 on his arm out, arm in, all the way around, and then you get the bend there as well, and articulation at the hand, so very good there. No waist articulation, but you do get a double joint here at the legs, and you get a bit of a double joint here at the thighs as well, so that's pretty good. And then you get some toe articulation and some toe articulation here, so he can hold some pretty dynamic looking poses when you need him to. So yeah, pretty nice looking little minifigure there. So for the comparison then, let's bring out Frenzy here. So when we bring out Frenzy, we can see that they are pretty much the same height. This is my KO MP Frenzy. He's a little bit scuffed up, but he's still looking nice. I have to say, I actually prefer this one. I do prefer this from Hasbro Takara, just because the head sculpt is obviously a little bit bigger. You also, the joints feel a little bit better. I don't know why. The joints feel a little. This one seems like quite some thin kind of joints on the bottom here. This one has a lot thicker joints that I just feel like I can trust the joints on this one a little bit better than I can trust the ones on this for some reason. Back to Blaster then, and he also has some accessories that he can use in this mode around the back. So he comes with some big ass guns for his bot mode, and what we do here is we can actually store these weapons here by removing this, and then this section here just pops in there for storage, so you can have both of them stored in. Everything that has to go into a port on this figure is extremely stiff, so yeah, it will go in there, but I'm just a bit unwilling to put it all the way in at the moment. And then this section here, you just have to untab this and kind of take this piece out a little bit, swing it out. And then here you'll have this little door, and then you can just tab this piece in on the door basically, and then once you tab that in, you'll see that this will just swing back in like that, and then you can swing this back round, tab this piece back in, and there your gun just hides away nicely on the inside. Very, very cool. Puts it away. Like I said, I'm just a little bit scared about pushing this all the way in there because the ports are just very, very, very tight, but does tuck everything away very, very, very neatly in the back. Really great. Comparison time for this dude then, and yeah, obviously he can't change his size just like in the movie, so we're kind of left with a very big ghetto blaster. So next to your Prime, he is huge. He's a huge ghetto blaster next to your Prime, and this is for the masterpiece scale. And then of course, if we put in next to kind of an SS88 hot rod, then we can see, yeah, yeah, he's a big boy. In this mode, he ain't gonna scale with nothing. But transformation time on this dude then, and the first thing we're gonna do is move these around back to where they were on the original. I think there's nothing you need to pull off or anything. If you haven't stored any kind of the weapons or anything on him, then you don't need to move anything off before you start the transformation. Unhook this, that will make sure that everything else runs a little bit smoother, and then untab this piece here, and we'll bring this out, and then also untab this, swing it round so that you can bring this piece just out of the way for everything else that you need to do. Stay around the front then, and then untab this and swing both doors out. So if we swing this out, you can see he is very much kind of a shell former. I don't want to call him a shell former, but yeah, there's a lot of kind of shell transformation pieces going. This is the bit down here you can see with the legs. You need to separate basically the hips so you can see how far. It's not shown very, very well in the destructions at all, so just make sure that it's the hips. So when I bring these down again, and I'll untab these sections here, when I bring this down, you will see that it's the hips that have actually separated, and they're quite tough to get back down as well. So bring the hips just straight down together, and there you go. They really do clasp together very, very well, and which is why when you come to separate them, if I separate them again now, you'll see, oh, they are quite stiff, but they do separate, so don't worry about that. And then bring the legs down again, and down again, and down again. Now at this point, swivel it round, and we're going to fold things around. So you've got the fold and the fold, so swivel it round, and then you got the fold, and you got the fold. That sorts all of this kind of stuff out. This will also have to fold in at some point, but we will do that in a second, because what we need to do now is sort out the feet. Now this is almost the most difficult piece of the transformation, because you have to move this out and you have to kind of maneuver the foot around. Yeah. And through the bottom piece here, and then this goes back down and through like that. But so then with this part of the leg, you've got what used to be the handle, just switch it over and stick it in there, and then this will just tap into the side there, and you'll feel that click in, which makes that really nice fit into there. While we're down the bottom, this is a little bit tricky to kind of get your hands on, really. Just, you may need to get a little tool. Oh, there we go, I got it. And that'll just give him that extra little bit of support while he's walking around. And then we'll come over and we'll do the same with this part of the leg as well. So we've moved everything around. Now comes the tricky bit, like I said before, where we maneuver the foot out. There we go. Foot out. Swing this back round. Place that over there and stick it in, and then this, and that just tabs straight into this section here. You'll hear it click, and it will click in, and then again with this bit, there we go. Oh, did it both times. I'm very impressed with that. I haven't been able to do that before. So then we will swivel everything just around, and then we've got the bottom half pretty much covered there. So now it comes to doing the top section, and first of all let's pop his head out so that we can see him. And then you have got little ears here which you can just put down and put down. You'll need to remember to put them up, otherwise his head won't fit in the back piece there, but that's a nice little addition that they've put there to make sure that you can fit everything in together. This at this part can just move forwards and also move forwards. Then open up and fold this out and fold this out. Around the back we'll move this whole section up here, so just untab this piece, move this up and move this up, then we can move that down, and then this section here will just fit in like that, and this section here just fits in like that, just to make it a little bit nicer on the back. And then round let's get him out of his T-pose. Looks like he's waiting to do something in cyberpunk here, so let's stop him from being in a T-pose and get out his little hand here. Then it's all about the folding, so this section goes there, this section goes there, and then this section goes in, and then you'll see that there's a little tab there and it just curls round like that. So there we have his little hand, there's his hand, and then we do the same on this side. So let's open this up and get his hand out. Oh, out comes the hand, down goes this, so it's up, then down, and then spin it around, and down that comes, and then we can bring the arm down and bring the hand around. So yeah, so like I said, quite not the most difficult of transformations there. So here we have Blaster, aka Transistor, in all of his glory, and what a bot. What a bot this is. I love it when I get a bot. I've been waiting for a bot for a while, and I'm sorely not disappointed at all. I am very, very happy with how this dude looks. Let's bring him in for a closer inspection, and first of all, big shout out to this metallic paint job that's on it. Look at how he glimmers, shimmers and shines just like a robot should. Absolutely gorgeous. When we spin him around, we can see that they haven't forgotten about anything. They hide out all of the features really, really well. The transformation is beautiful on this dude. The paintwork is amazing. I like the way that the handles kind of just go in, just to give him some shape here on the back of his leg. They haven't left things hanging out. Everything just hides away in its own little compartments. It's gorgeous. Absolutely just blown away by the way that this looks. Going for a closer look at the head sculpt, you do get another head with this, but this is definitely the head that I'm going with. Really nice looking head. Also, as I'll show you in a second, we do get some extra eyes, so we get some light piping on this dude as well. So those baby blues are nice, but I'm going to be swapping it over for the light piping, as I really like light piping in my figures. The head is very, very nice, nicely sculpted. The chest piece here is gorgeous. Little few challenges are with my paint just here, just at the side where the yellow is, which is a bit of a shame, but overall very, very cool. Little switches down here that carry over obviously from the tape mode. Nice arms, plenty of detailing, but it's the legs that really make the difference on this piece. Shiny there, and then on the inside, all the pistons, the working, the mechanisms here of Blaster on full display, and the feet looking gorgeous, even paint underneath the feet. What a figure. From an articulation point of view then, his head is on a swivel. This tabs in, but it is a little bit loose, so you just need to be a little bit careful there. You do get some up, some down, and some full 360 here. 360 on the arm is no problem at all, and some outer here at the top of the arm. On the elbow and the top of the forearm, you do get that, and you also get a bit of a double joint. So you see the joint there, you get a double joint, one that goes in and up, and then you get this due to the transformation, so that's pretty nice. Hand articulation is awesome on this figure. You get a full rotation at the hand, and then you also get some 5-finger discount here as well, so you get little bits of articulation here on the fingers, so he has fully articulated hand to do whatever kind of pose you want. Thumbs always just look a bit weird on figures for me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, and you don't get too much stretch out, so that's the most you're going to get from the hand, but quite nice. You will get a full 360 at the waist due to the transformation as well, and then you'll get these little hip skirts that can move out, certainly at the front. The one at the back does move a little bit, but it also holds the hips together, so make sure that that is locked in correctly. This is where the weakest part of the articulation is, I guess. You'll get a full at the front, and then at the back you're only going to really get to there unless you move out, and then even then you're not going to get much. So it's a full forward, but really not much back. You can bend the knee there, and you do get some great foot articulation here, as well as this joint here and to the side with some rocker. But you get some flexor, some spinny, but you won't get really very much back at all. You will get full out to the side, and they are extremely strong ratchets that seem very capable of holding the weight of what you want to the side. Front, as you can see, it's holding it, but it goes one notch down. What about the other leg? Will it go all the way up and stay? You'll get it, you'll get there, and then Willie ninja kick. Yes, he will ninja kick very well. Of course, this dude comes with loads of accessories, and one of them being the guns. So these guns I showed you before and how they store away, they're quite nice. They're just molded plastic with a big circle in the front, but they're okay. There's some articulation here as well to put them away, and all they do is they sit right here in this section there. There's a little tab inside the hands, as most of the third-party figures have. It's just the same kind of thing, really, so that you can then get him with his gun, and he looks okay. He looks okay with this gun. It's a fine looking gun, you know. If that's what you really want to pose him with, then you're good for that. He does come with twin guns, so we can open up his other hand here, and we can have a look and see what that looks like when he's got his double-barreled guns in full motion. There. Yeah, he looks alright with that, right? He looks good. Ready to take on the world. So if you don't want to have the guns on him, he does have his other secret weapon, and to do this you need to just untab the hands here again, just like you did before, because what we're going to do now is we're going to fold the arms in and then undo this. You have to twist the hand round so that you've got this. So he's making like an upside down fist basically, and then the hand will rotate back into the socket. Once that's gone back, you can transform it back the way it was, tab everything back in, and then you'll have that little port, and then you can pull out his speakers, and he can have that on one hand, so I can do the same on this. So, come on. Pink. Fold it round, and then it goes. I have to say that the hands do actually fit in here very, very well. Sometimes on some of these figures, the hands don't always do what you'd want them to do and go in correctly, but these hands fit in very nicely, which I am happy with, because it always disappoints me when the hands have difficulty going back into the sockets they come out of. And he has now double speaker hands. So with this dude, you do also get a different heat, and this heat is nice. I think this is a call back to, let me see if I can get it in focus. And this is a call back to the figure, right? So this is a call back to the toy. I prefer the one that's a little bit more the cartoon side of it, which is the one that's on. So that's the one that I will be leaving on. You can just replace it by unscrewing the screw there, and it will come off. They do provide you with a little screwdriver, which is very, very nice. But what I want to do now is show you how I can't balance my figure, is show you this. So this is the extra little piece of the light piping that we get with the figure. So all you do here is unscrew the back of the head. So unscrewing the back of the head. Okay, so I've had to actually remove the head, and unfortunately while I was removing the head, a piece of his nose actually came off, which is a bit disappointing. So it just shows that you have to be very, very careful with the paint, certainly on the face. I'll have to try and get some extra white paint. What you do is you remove the face plate here after you've removed the screw, and then that will reveal the inside of its head. Remove this section here. Again, it's not the most easiest thing to do. You might have to push it from the back. There we go. So we get that section there, and then this piece, the translucent piece that we had here, will fit in there like that, and then we just put the face back on. If we put this back in correctly, which I don't think I had. There we go. Back in, and then on with this. So now we have the lovely looking light piping actually on his head. Light piping goes in through the back, and we'll get this nice looking light pipe in there. Shame about the nose. I'm gonna have to do something about that. So now time for the comparison, and let's start off with the Mp10g Prime, and yeah, they look great together. About the right height for what they should be. I think he will fit in with your masterpiece collection very well. Unfortunately, if you want him for your studio series, obviously, then he's a little bit on the large scale to fit in with those dudes. But hey, he is absolutely gorgeous for your MP collection. So, would I recommend this guy for your collection? Hell yes, I would recommend this dude for your collection. He is everything that I wanted him to be. The tape is pretty good as well, and he works in conjunction with the rest of the MP collection, including all your Soundwave stuff. I think he looks fantastic. The paintwork is awesome, but just be careful of chippage, because as you can see, he got a chip on his nose. Nowhere else. I've transformed this a couple of times now, and I don't think anywhere else is really chipped or anything, so I am pretty happy with it. I guess I'll just have to find some white paint to touch that up. Let me know your thoughts on this dude down in the comments. Did you pick up the original version of this? I believe a fair few years ago this dude came out. They haven't updated anything apart from the paint scheme on him, but I think he's definitely still worth picking up. And I'll see you down in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!